Good morning, everyone. So, a couple of things to get out of the way before I get into things. First of all, you'll notice that the series is no longer called Minecraft the Way God Intended. That is because I don't know what God intends with Minecraft. So now it's whatever else I decided to name it. I still haven't come up with a name at the time of filming. Second of all, I've just been kind of thinking about the way these have been structured, and I just decided that me just talking about the game would be too boring. So instead, I think I'm gonna. That's weird. What? Instead, I think I'm just gonna be telling stories from my life, while occasionally commenting on my own gameplay. Uh, Need to stop saying so much. Anyways, we'll get into it. Also, y'all may have noticed that it is now 1.7 world instead of a 1.0 world. That is because sometime there was a driver update that broke my computer, and it's Minecraft. So now we have 1.7 world. So anyways, since I decided we're doing story time now, so for the unknowing, I'm a Civil War reenactor, and a couple months ago, me and a friend, it was his first time doing this, we decided, hey, there's a reenactment this day, our unit's going, I'm gonna take you along with me and we'll go get you into reenacting. So we go and he has a great time, we're enjoying it. For the unknowing, on Saturday nights there's a dance. So I had never been to one of these before, but it was his first time and he was wanting to go. So I ended up going with him, and I had a lot of fun. It was a great dance. But at one point they were doing a waltz, and I didn't particularly know how to waltz, but they were doing the partner calls, and I guess I was a little late because there were no girls left. So I'm looking around, and finally I hear this guy go, hey, I ain't got a partner, because his wife wanted to take a break. So I find him, and I'm dressed in a Confederate uniform, and I look over at him, and he's dressed as a Union cavalryman. So I go over, and I ask him if he wants to dance. He says yes. I tell him okay, but I'm leading. And what other tool do I need? I think I'm good. Told him yes, but I'm leading. So he was like, alright, sounds good. And people went over to to explain how the dance worked. We didn't particularly listen because I was doing quite horribly. But there was something in there about popping, like kind of just bouncing up on your feet. So we get into the dance. I don't want to end this side. We get into the dance, and he's just kind of popping up and down. And to give an idea, this isn't like another 19-year-old. This is a 42-year-old man. So he's complaining about other people not doing the popping, and I was leading. So finally I just start making small talk with him. And so we talk a little more, and I'm like, so, what do you do? And he goes, I'm a youth pastor. I say, okay, cool. What denomination? And he just goes, the kind that don't believe dancing with men. And I was like, okay. And he turned out to be a non-denominational pastor, but he is pretty cool for a daggum freaking Yankee. So we're just kind of dancing. We talk a little more, and it turns out that not only was he a Baptist pastor, but he was a Baptist pastor, or not Baptist, non-denominational. Baptist, non-denominational, that's a theological debate that I'll get into eventually if you talk to me long enough about it. But anyways, it turned out he was a youth pastor, and not only was he just a youth pastor, but his youth group was there, and his wife was there, and they were all watching him dance with me. And I don't know, I guess I made his wife jealous or something. Nah, I'm kidding, I wouldn't. Um, she found it funny, but it was just a, okay dance. I mean, pretty funny time. But, I wonder what the sermon was about the next day. I need to get better at my storytelling skills. I can do it real well in real life, and I can do it real well, like just talking, but when I'm trying to multitask with things, it don't go too particularly good, so I need to work on that. But I promise I'm a much better public speaker in real life than on YouTube. Same reenactment. We were going through Tennessee, and on our way to Georgia. I don't remember if I mentioned that this thing was in Georgia, but we were going through Tennessee, and we're a ways south of Nashville on I-24 before Chattanooga, and we stopped at this gas station. And personally, I'm a fan of gas station corn dogs, but we stopped and I used the restroom, fill up the truck with gas, and then we go in, I buy my corn dog. But my friend, we were looking at, it was like those heat lamps, it was stuff under a heat lamp, and my friend goes and is looking at this thing called Nashville hot chicken on a stick. And so he buys it, because you don't know no better, and so he buys it, and I buy my corn dog, and we get to the car, the truck, and I'm looking at him, and before he opens it or anything, I look at him and I say his name, and I say, "Are you really gonna eat something called Nashville hot chicken on a stick that came from a gas station in some no-name town in middle southern Tennessee?" And he looks at me right back in the eyes, and he says, "Yes." And sure enough, he ate that whole thing. Later told me it tasted like crap, but I believe him. It didn't look too good. He said it was rubbery. Dang, I wish I could get this tree down. 1 second. But it was just funny to see, because I guess he eventually learned his lesson in a porta potty somewhere at the reenactment. I think he said that he wasn't having too much fun with it. But pretty good reenactment all in all. Same thing, reenactment, all that. We were first night we were under a canvas shelter, half kind of using it as a blanket because it was expected to rain. So we did that, and second night, however, it wasn't expected to rain at all, so we were both fans of camping out on tarps in the middle of the woods instead of bringing an actual tent, because tent camping is uncomfortable and I hated it the last time I did it. But we just laid out the gum blankets by a fire and slept on those. I had my wool blanket. I think he had a blanket as well. And so he 4, 8, 12, 16. So I actually need a little more. First I need a shelter because, yeah, sorry about that. So anyways, he was or we were laying out by the gun blankets, and we had brought over some wood for the fire. We were laying in a semicircle around the fire, and I go, hey, put some wood on the fire, and then I'll walk off to go brush my teeth. And so he does put wood on the fire. Way too much wood, like a ridiculous amount. Most of what we had pulled aside for it. And then I come back and I turn around and the flames are 4 feet high and the gun blanket's about 6 feet from the fire. So naturally it's blistering hot. And I tell him I didn't mean for him to put that much down. And he's like, well, you should have specified. Didn't know we were going to be sleeping this close. And so, after a slight bit more of complaining, we lay down. I kind of hide from the flames behind my wool blanket. And, kind of still yelling at him for putting that much wood on the fire. I wasn't very happy about that. But, after I had finished my complaining and kind of gone silent trying to sleep, I just hear from his gun blanket my name followed by I'm hot. And keep in mind he's 2 years older than me, so he's 21, and I just start yelling at him again. You shouldn't have put that much wood on the fire, dang it. And all that. Oop, that's a skeleton. Where is he? Shoot, I need a bed. So I start yelling at him about not putting that much wood on the fire. And again, and eventually after about 30 minutes the fire dies down and we dang, I just one-shot that sheep. Eventually the fire dies down and we just go to sleep. Very nice sleep. The moon was out and all that. It was a good experience. Always loved me a good sleeping on a tarp. Especially a gun blanket. Gun blankets are so much comfortable than tarps. Word of advice from, I don't know, but a canvas tarp, so much better for sleeping on than a plastic tarp. And same applies to sleeping on the ground. Personally, I really like sleeping on the ground. I find it more comfortable than some beds I've been in. Quite a lot of beds. I also find myself better rested when... Oh, that wasn't andesite, that was just stone. I find myself better rested after sleeping on the ground, but a good canvas tarp can go a long way. What tarnation? You know, it'd be real funny to find out my microphone was muted all this time. But it isn't, so y'all gotta suffer with me. I hope y'all found the stories entertaining. I would like feedback on it. Just more of like what y'all want to hear and stuff like that, because I do got a lot of stories. Problem is I can yap about them for a long time. So, just anything helps. So, same friend. Last summer, I bought myself some peacocks, and I just kind of released them. Didn't know any better. It all went as well as the Lord intended, so all was fine, I guess. But the night we got the peacocks, the friend came down to my grandmother's house where I released them, and she lived on enough acreage that it wasn't any big deal. They didn't really leave it, but we got bored, and he had his gun and I had my gun, so we decided, hey, let's go up on the farm and shoot a little. So we go up on the farm and shoot a little, after driving around searching for these peacocks. And so we're driving around. We kind of just keep driving around until about 2 in the morning, when we're officially lost and in the middle of nowhere and got no clue where we are or where we're going. And so we're just kind of wandering around, kind of starting to find our way back home. And we're driving down this gravel road, single lane, and we come across another truck. And the guy in it, we stop and we talk to him for a bit, kind of pull off the side of the road, find out the road that we're on ends in a lake. But we were just talking for a minute, and we're hearing this whimpering noise. So we ask him, "Is that whimpering?" And he goes, "Yeah, I've been coon hunting. Those are my dogs." So we're like, "Oh, okay." Then we talk a little bit more, and he shines this light in the truck, and he sees my Lee Enfield sitting in the center seat, and my friend holding this box with his AK. And he says, "What are you boys doing?" Because it's fairly possible no one should be that heavily armed that late at night without good reason. But me, not thinking, said the truth. Peacock hunting. And so the guy just, I don't think much of it, my friend doesn't think much of it, because we were telling exactly what we had started off doing. Not to shoot the peacocks, of course, but we were just looking for them. But the guy just takes that answer for some reason, I don't know why, and we continue talking, and eventually we ask where the town is that my grandmother lives in. And he says he'll show us, so we go down the ways a bit and turn around, and he's up there waiting for us, and we follow him back, and eventually he stops at the point where we need to turn right. And so we head straight back into town, and finally it hits my friend what I had just said, that I had told this poor coon hunter that we were peacock hunting. And he just busts out laughing like nothing. And when I ask him why, he says, "You told him we were peacock hunting." Do you have any idea how stupid that sounds? And then it hits me too. So we just both bust out laughing. And thus the term a peacock hunting clinic was formed, meaning an impossible task. That sounds ridiculous. Probably is ridiculous. But yeah, it was a good night. I still enjoy riding Tennessee back roads at night with friends. It's honestly a very fun social experiment. No, experience. You get to talk to them for a couple hours while exploring and having a good time learning the back roads. But yeah, so it's been about 19 minutes that this video's been, so I think I'm gonna end sort of around here. Next time we'll get started on the actual house portion of this. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please do tell me feedback about the videos. This is also an experience in helping me with my public speaking, because while I'm pretty good at it in person, cannot do it in Minecraft, or while playing Minecraft, multitask. So leave a comment, tell me what I can do better, just tell me I freaking stink and to just play the game, I don't know. But I do prefer fully constructive criticism. So I will see you all. Actually, I hope I don't see. Well, on YouTube, I hope I see y'all. In person might be a little weird. But yeah, I will see y'all later. Pasta the Visa.